welcome to a memorial of TNA. I had to say it like that because this show was memories. This was the memories of WWE. This is the memories of ECW. This is the memories of TNA. That's what we always get from them. But I gotta say this. This actually was a solid show. This was actually a very solid show. Was it a great show? That can be debated easily. But it was a good, solid show that we actually got from them. But I have to say this about TNA. We still don't know 100% if their contract has been renegotiated and they're going to re-sign with Spike. But hearing, in passing, twice maybe, that they're moving from Thursdays to Wednesdays at 9 o'clock, gives you a lot of confusion. You still don't know if they're staying, even though that sounds like they are. But then when Mike Tenay and Taz don't state the new time change, either they were just being really sloppy, or they don't know, because if Spike is just moving them because they want to make room for the new slot, and they're keeping him on because the contract is still valid until October, makes it hard to know what the hell to think. I just don't know. I may discuss this more in the debate of the week. That will probably be preceding this video. But let's move on to the beginning of the show. I'm going to say this about the opening. It was a bygone era type of segment. Now, that doesn't mean it's a bad thing. Seeing the Dudleys, and I'm going to say the Dudleys because what happened during their match. Seeing the Dudleys out with Brother Ray and Brother Devon was not a bad thing. Then when the Hardys came out, the crowd really made this feel really good. They didn't chant ECW, they didn't chant WWE, they only chanted or talked about was TNA. And I was very worried about this because seeing so many ECW guys, they would only chant ECW. They wouldn't care about TNA. But only TNA was presented here, even though this was still at the Manhattan Center. And I'm hoping this is the last taping of it. I am kind of getting sick of it. I want to see a new venue. You guys tell me below if you still enjoy seeing the Manhattan Center, even though it is where I live. But anyway, when you see this segment, it was actually well done. Matt isn't one of the greatest talkers, but he was effective in this respect. So when the match came out between the Dudleys and the Hardys, let's be honest, them coming out dressed as the Dudleys they used to be is a bygone era type of thing, a memory type of thing. And they didn't tear the house down, but they did have a solid match, and in the end, the Hardys lost and the Dudleys won. Now, when it comes to the Wolves right before the match, when they spoke about Team 3D, I'm going back to 3D, I actually thought it was very effective. They've already faced the Hardys. That makes them a valid team already. So they want to face basically Team 3D. And I'm going to elaborate more about what I think about Team 3D possibly getting the World Tag Team Championships again. I'm just going to leave it at that. And it was an effective segment. Now, the 6-man elimination scramble match for the #1 contender for the X Division Championship, I felt was a good match. This is my problem here. Low-key won, which is alright. He looked like he could be the most greatest threat to a Samoa Joe. And Samoa Joe had a nice video segment beforehand, which I felt was effective. It wasn't great, but effective. My question is this. They have next week to go into that match. I felt was actually unwise. I would have liked it a couple of weeks off because I really want to build for this. The problem I see is this. Samoa Joe's a great talker. He is. We know this. Low-key has a very distinctive voice that even if he's not a distinctly good talker, he actually could get over with that deep voice of his. I said it already. He could actually go into broadcasting with that voice. I would have liked to see them build into this. I would like to see them to build a feud with this. But they're not seeming to do that. If this is another taping of the New York, the Manhattan Arena, I feel it's just lacking. Doesn't mean it won't be a great match. But the point is, I want to see a feud in the X Division. I want to see Samoa Joe promptly featured. Now, maybe in the next tapings after they leave New York, we'll get that. But at this moment, I just don't feel it. Hopefully they'll do something, maybe an explosion. We'll get something more. I don't usually watch TNA Explosion. I may actually watch it to see if they're actually trying to promote this. I'm hoping. Now, Samuel Shaw and Gunner segment before the match between Gunner and Anderson was actually okay. But here's my problem, ladies and gentlemen. I know people have stated that they're not going to turn Anderson heel. They're going to leave him face. And I do agree with you. But the way things are, it still feels very uncertain. Now, that's a good thing. We still don't know if Anderson is going to turn heel or is it going to be Gunner. They're all three pretty much faces dealing with each other. And one face is still being chanted creepy bastard. I'm alright with seeing Shaw being chanted creepy bastard. He gets smacked in the face, well, punched in the face, but it looks like a damn smack, by Anderson, started beating his ass down, and then we get the separation. Anderson didn't try to attack Gunner, and he didn't try again to attack Shaw. So that still makes you having a triangle of three faces dealing with each other, and we still don't know who is going to turn. Could we still get a Samuel Shaw returning back and a Gunner going with him? Could we get a Gunner turning total heel and Shaw trying to turn him back to the light side when he went dark? Or will we actually get a Anderson turn, which actually is the unwise thing to do? I think it would be stupid for him to turn heel, but let's be honest, TNA have known to be doing something stupid. Now, here's another thing that I'm not sure if it's going to be good or not. This is the Abyss and Bram segment. Now, I've said this at the last match when it was Monsters Ball. Monsters Ball has been overdone so damn much. If it was done once every 6 months, it would be something special. Every couple of weeks, and I believe that Fool Killer 99 has already stated that himself. He doesn't want to see the Abyss being seen so much. It's overexposure. It doesn't care, makes you care. But in this situation, I stated this already, and I'm going to reiterate on it. I know Bram is not a big guy. He's not. But he is a sadistic, very violent person. And we don't have that in TNA much. The only one we have that even comes close has been the Abyss. And it's not like he's better than the Abyss in what he's done. He is still a newcomer. But I see it like this. I said this before. It would be good if Bram kept that Janice. Kept the 2x4 with the nails in it. And I believe I said this in that Impact, that if he kept that 2x4, and in a sense it would be like passing the torch, it would be a good thing. So now they're going to do a stairway to Janice. Whoever wins keeps Janice. Do I believe that Bram's going to win it? I don't believe Bram is going to win this. I believe they're going to make Abyss keep Janice. But if he does lose Janice, this really, to me, would be like passing the torch of Abyss to Bram as being the most sadistic guy there. In fact, I would like it if he did win. I'm being honest here about Bram. He may not be a well-built character, but he is getting over enough as a sadistic, very violent, and uncontrollable character that if he did get Janice, and they did some work on it, turning it into something more slimmer for his physique. In other words, cutting it down, shaping it, or making a new 2x4 in the shape of like a cricket bat. Not really making it one, but shaping it down to a smaller scale that Janice would be for him only, and it wouldn't look like something that the Abyss would like or would want. It would actually make sense. Like I said, I don't believe they're going to do this. I believe that next week we're going to get the Abyss getting Janice back. But I'm hoping. There's nothing wrong with hoping. The segment of the arrest, I'm going to say this. The arrest segment of Rockstar, Spud, Rhino, and EC3, I believe, was more well done than the two arrests of Stephanie and Brie Bella. I'm saying it right now, ladies and gentlemen. This is a much better looking arrest segment than we've gotten in a little while. Kurt Angle, I'm saying this. I'm not a huge Kurt Angle fan. I'm not. But I gotta say this. The way they're sponsoring him as a executive director, I wish they would leave him like that as long as he's in the company. I'm going to be honest here. Yes, he's a good wrestler. He's still a good talent. When he heals, he could still go in the ring. But I'm going to be honest here. We have not had a real general manager, executive producer, whatever you want to call him, as the boss of TNA. I feel Angle has done such a good job because he's not seen well. Well, I'll take that back. He's not being seen much, which is very well done. He's not speaking long segments. That is being done very well. Whenever he comes out, having a cheat sheet paper makes him feel more relevant and more organic, something I can actually relate to. Because not everyone can remember lines like that unless you're a very good actor. I feel as an executive director, he's done very well. And in this segment, he made it very clear. Either wrestle or get the hell out of my ring. And he already had the cops ready, which shows that he's on top of everything. There has been no complaints other than the heels. The faces are not saying anything yet, which makes things done well. And I'm saying it like this. When they came in, Rockstar Spud saying, "I'm Rockstar Spud! I'm a lion! I'm a tiger!" and gets his ass arrested with a big fat guy in a police uniform, I enjoyed it. I did enjoy this segment. I enjoyed the segment when Spud spoke. EC3 wasn't that great, but he was effective. Rhino wasn't given the mic at all, which was great. We don't need Rhino talking at all. He can talk all he wants, but as long as you don't have a mic in his hand, I'm fine with it. Showing them walking down with the cops past the fans was more better done than Stephanie in the back and Brie Bella. I'm sorry, it was. And the thing that gets me, why the fuck are you getting detectives coming out there when it should be ordinary officers that should be coming in and arresting your ass with guns on their fucking hip? That's the one thing WWE never did. They never had actual cops come out, well, you know what I mean, fake cops with fake guns. That would have made it more believable. And in this case, it was believable. They had handcuffs on one side, a gun, a 9mm on the other. That made it feel a lot more substantial, and I did enjoy this. That was a very solid segment. Now, the exclusive showing what happened after Dixie had been put through the table. To be honest, it wasn't necessary. I would have liked them to sponsor them changing from 9 a.m. Thursday to 9 a.m. Wednesday. That would have been a better segment. They could have put this on TNA.com and make it exclusive there. They could have done that. Admittedly, the WWE does that all the time, but it could have been done there, and it could have still gotten over. In this respect, seeing Bully say, "Ding dong, the witch is dead. Ding dong dicks, do I give a fuck?" No! I want to hear TNA say, "Well, we're switching from 9 a.m. Thursday to 9 a.m. Wednesday. We're going to be the hottest thing on Spike," even though we don't know if they're going to stay. I think that would have been more effective. That was stupid. That was one of the few things in this show I really felt was done terrible. Also, we don't know who this new guy is that's coming in. You see the names coming through. Hopefully, whoever it is good. You guys can tell me below who it is, but to be honest, I don't look at cheat sheets. I don't want to know. Next, the Fatal 4-Way for the, I was about to say Divas. I think someone actually said Divas at one point. But you could say they are the true Divas of wrestling because they actually can do something a little better than what we got. There was only one problem with the entire thing. Why couldn't Terrence Terrell win the belt? Are they going to sponsor this all the way for Bound for Glory? I mean, we're in August. That means they're going to hold off until Bound for Glory to give Terrence Terrell, sorry, I mispronounced her name. You're going to wait 2 months to give Terrence Terrell the belt over at Bound for Glory. Do I believe that's a great thing to do? No. But it's understandable why they want to do it. They actually want to give the women a spotlight. But the thing is here that you got nothing going in between there. So when it finally happens, I don't think it's going to be that good. So I'm kind of hoping they'll speed this along, but you get my point. And admittedly enough, 3 out of those 4 women looked damn good. I wish it was standing right next to me right now. I'm just saying that because I don't want to say that they're trying to sponsor the beautiful people breaking up and then Terrence and Gail Kim are going to disappear from TV. I'm trying to think, well, they're good-looking women. I want to screw one of them. 3 out of the 4. I mean, Gail isn't very good-looking. I mean, she's okay, but the other 3 women got nice boobs. I see it like that. The 6-man tag between the triple threat of professional wrestling and 3 champions in Bobby Roode, Eli, and the greatest man that ever lived, Austin Aries. I have one problem with this. Kenny King, my boy, you're my man. You have been sponsored badly, I understand that. But you need to grow up, man. You're the king of the night, baby. You are the man that wines and dines women, take them back to a hotel, a cheap hotel, and fuck their fucking brains out. Why the hell are you skipping along like AJ Lee? What the fuck is wrong with you? Act like a man. Act like a fucking Lashley. Act like a fucking MVP. They don't fucking skip around like they're 10 years old. You need to act like your age, man. You're the king of the night. You're supposed to be able to wine women, be able to dine women. You're able to smooth with the celebrities of the world. You're not supposed to skip around like you can't do fucking nothing. Change it, man. I want to still say, Kenny King, baby. I can't do that right now because you act like a fucking kid. Shit. Sorry, but you get my point. The match was good. It wasn't bad. And Lashley wins over, who was it? Lashley won over Aries, I believe. Yeah, he won over Aries. And that's okay. They're still promoting Bobby Lashley. And I may elaborate on that more in my debate of the week. That will be preceding this video. I think I said that earlier, but just in case I didn't, I'm saying it now. Lastly. Oh no, not lastly. There's 2 more things to do. Well, 1 more thing to do. 1. The video segment of James Storm. Oh. No, that is the last thing. Sorry. I had a lot on my mind. The last thing I'm going to talk about is James Storm's segment. Oh. Whew. I gotta say this. That is some powerful shit. You don't normally see submission, torment, torture, control like this in wrestling. James Storm is pulling this shit off so well. I think the reason I got a little confused between the 2, saying there are 2 things I'm going to talk about, there are 2 last things, is because this is combined into 2. Because seeing this segment of James Storm and Sonata, who's now gone to black hair instead of being blonde, being tied up to a ring post, being tied up to a post in his barn, was so well done. I am so interested in seeing how far they're going to go with this. They have pulled the trigger on making someone submit to another, making someone get tortured by another, making someone being dominating over another in such a way we don't see in wrestling. The question is, will James Storm be his manager? Are they going to be stupid enough to make him into his tag team partner, which I don't want to see? If this is him just being his fucking manager, this will be fucking awesome. We don't see this in wrestling anymore, where someone is completely dominating control. The closest we had was Winter with what? Winter with Angelina Love, and it was terribly done, and it should have been a lesbian segment, but they made it some twisted type of control, and they didn't really pull the trigger on it completely. In this case, they have. This isn't like gay men together. This is a man controlling another mentally, breaking him down. The scream at the end was beautifully done from Sonata. My question is this. When will we see the fabulous Great Muta, I'm saying Moolah, I'm thinking about her, sorry. The Great Muta come in, get some matches, get some time talking. If this is building up to Bound for Glory, it's actually hopefully going to be done well. If they bring in Muta, give him time to talk, give him time to wrestle, have his protege, whoever he's with, I can't remember his name, Akuta. I believe. You can tell me the guy's name. But in the end, if this is done well, we're going to have something of a monster on the hand. Something we don't see often in wrestling. But that's just my humble opinion. Please tell me below. And I hope you enjoyed this Zane's View. Please give me a comment below. Tell me if I'm doing this right. Give me a thumbs up. And you should be seeing my debate of the week just after this. Maybe a couple of hours afterwards. You probably see it in the same day. See ya!